what you love, and then allow the prosperity. You got this. Make good, make it your own. You know you got the power in your mind, heart, body, and soul to grow dreams, grow faith, grow you. Create authentically the garden of good. Live, and love. In a God gonna dig big and trust. In a God gonna create, elevate, celebrate, and love. You know it. I love to create and celebrate and elevate. All of the eights. I love to eat is what it is. 8 in past tense. Right? So hi, everyone. Welcome to the Garden of Good. Today is May 12th, 2026. And imagine if you were to imagine your 2019 self having a conversation with your 2026 self. Would your 2019 self believe you? You know what I mean? You couldn't have imagined it, is my point. So tonight, as we touch upon imagination, which is the theme of the night, I want you all to remember that even reality is stranger than anything we could ever imagine. It's beyond, isn't it? I mean, it's wild. All about this week, the topic is imagination. So the garden, this garden of good, why we gather here is that the garden of good is here to nourish creativity and connection with contemplative play. We make good by showing up honestly and creating together. It's really fun. We connect. Kindness always first. Just open yourself. That's how you're going to have the most joy tonight if you're just open to whatever we're going to do. But it's up to you. It's a gardener's choice. You can do whatever you want. Camera is optional and it is confidential and it is not a mistake. It is a swear word. I do curse. So I just like to let people know that when you're in the Garden of Good, anything kind of goes and you're welcome here to be completely authentically you. So the Garden of Good it's a year-long program and we are smack in the middle of the mind. And you can come and go as you please. You don't have to stay the whole time and come every week. But it is cool to see the different phases. This is the second year that we've done this. And it's based around my book, which is called Make Good, Cultivating Joy with Creativity. And people are just trickling in. And there's a reading. Each week there's a topic. And we're in the middle of mind, and today our topic is imagination, which is in your mind. Another thing that we do, or we're trying to do, I'm trying to develop this thing, is that every quarter we pick a new root and a new fruit. So we pick something to do on the inside that we want to work on for the quarter and something we want to manifest. For instance, my root is currently order. And my fruit is that I want to organize my house. I want to organize my mind. I want to get in order. And I also want to tap more into divine order, trusting divine order. It's just my word. My word is order. And the fruits are a many. And then we share about what root we're picking and what fruit we're giving and etc. Also in the garden, first thing we always do is sing. So it's because it triggers your parasympathetic nervous system and it relaxes you and it makes you more capable of receiving the good and creating the good and letting the flow. So I wrote a little chant. I write a chant every week for us. I am taking some time to imagine for the good. Unity for humanity. Unity for humanity. I am taking some time to create for the good. Unity for humanity. Unity for humanity. We are one. That's the fun part. Let's do that part again. We are one. From the top. Come on, from the top. I am taking some time to imagine for the good. Unity for humanity. Unity for humanity. I am taking some time to create for the good. Unity for humanity. Unity for humanity. We know this part. We are right, come on. We are one. Now, why that line is important is because when you take a deep breath and you sing a long note like that, you can't help but get all that oxygen, right, in this sort of slow stream holding in your system, and it just revibrates you, revitalizes you. All right, so let's try one more time. I'm going to slow it down. I'm just really excited about tonight. This is such a fun topic for me. Like, I have polka dots on because I was thinking, like, who imagined polka dots? Like, who was like, this is cool, dot, 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 dot. And then polka dots became a thing because somebody imagined it or somebody did it. You know what I mean? Who was the first polka dot person? I wonder. Anyway, I'm going to have to research that. Who discovered the polka dot? All right. I'm going to slow it down because I am excited. You know, you guys know that. Like, I'm so chill getting ready for the garden, and then the garden starts, and I'm like, it's like my first day at school. Like, I just love it here so much. I love being with you. I love creating. So I'm just excited to be here. So thanks for letting me be nervous and excited at the same time. We've been doing this for, I don't even know how many times, and I'm still like nervous every week, and I'm still excited every week. So I am taking some time to imagine for the good. Unity for humanity. Yeah, unity. Is that better? I am taking some time to create for the good. Unity for humanity. Unity for humanity. We are one. Big breath. We from the top one more time. We say, I am taking some time to imagine for the good. See, I want to speed it up. Unity for humanity. Unity for humanity. I am taking some time to. That's what we're doing tonight. Create for the good. Unity for humanity. Unity for humanity. Yeah. I'm like the new thought Dr. Seuss. I just figured that out. That is so funny. You guys. I am the new thought Dr. Seuss. Okay.
I am taking my sweet time to imagine a world where all is well and all are free. I define my world tonight with visions of new horizons and with an allowing spirit, open to hear the next right step to take, the next star to wish upon. Okay, y'all ready? I am taking my sweet time to imagine a world where all is well and all are free. I define my world tonight with visions of new horizons and with an allowing spirit. I open to hear the next right step to take and the next star to wish upon.
I learned, I'm listening for my advanced consciousness class, and Jeannie, you will appreciate this if you are listening because I've done my reading or my listening. Actually, I'm listening to it. It's very dense, thick stuff, this advanced consciousness stuff that I'm studying. I'm studying for my doctorate. It's very dense. It's hard for me to follow. But this week, there was something that's so fascinating. It was about quantum leaps. And it was talking about how it accounts for, like, when you look at prehistoric bones and you see that there's like missing links, there are many missing links. It's not just one missing link, just so you know, like there's fragments in evolution. It's difficult to actually find evidence for evolution that makes sense, that's really solid sense. But it's because there's quantum leaps, right? Like it skips, right? And it's like our lives. And he was saying that, when we have struggle or when we have strife, it is only there to metamorphosize you. Like that is what it's for. And if you're having struggle or strife, it is metamorphosizing you. It is evolving you into your highest and best, into your butterfly, which is what we're going to be sort of playing with tonight, is butterflies and this idea of transformation, right? And using our imagination for transformation. So I just want to say thank you for reading that. That was absolutely beautiful. And then we always start with our gift of gratitude. So if you have your book, you're going to open to page 113. That's where we are with our gratitudes. It's just a list. You can do it on your own, if you have a journal or something like that. And it's just the ultimate feel-good tool. And we're going to just do 8 gratitudes. Today, since we're imagining, I want you to imagine what you can be incredibly grateful for today. What can you imagine being incredibly grateful? I guess what I was asking there is like, what are you maybe not grateful for that you could imagine yourself like, could I be grateful for, my jerk brother-in-law or whatever, you know what I mean? Could I be grateful for maybe twisting up, using our imagination? I remember making this painting. It was during a war. I think it was right after October 7th. Is that the date that thing happened at the, I'm sorry, I'm such a bad Jew. But I just remember thinking as a metaphysician, whenever anything like war is going on, I am taught from my teachers to look within myself and see where I am at war with myself, with the world, with my circumstances, and what am I to do with that? And so that's what that painting's about. All right, imagination. The imagination is the place where our divine nature plays and creates. It's the most amazing thing in the human mind. To imagine is to allow possibility, to let yourself think outside the box. I love the realization that everything we see was first an idea in someone's imagination. Someone dreamed up something as simple as the chair and as complex as the light bulb. On a middle school field trip in Fort Myers, Florida, we visited the Thomas Edison home. The house was filled with his many inventions and ideas. I could almost feel the imagination of one of the greatest minds of modern times in the air. It was thrilling. Has anybody been there to the Thomas Edison home? It is quite something. If you're like a nerd like me and you love things, and you love the light, like I love a light bulb. And I know there's all kinds of things. There's other people who invented it, whatever. His home down there, you go see. How amazing to learn that creative power is always available and we can use our imaginations in a constructive way. That's new thought. And when we find ourselves veering off into dark imaginings, I never do that, we can allow the awareness, not entertaining them too long. Horror books and movies are places where some of these dark imaginings are allowed to live and breathe and be expressed in a creative way. Are there any horror lovers out there in this garden? I love horror movies only since I saw a Cabin in the Woods. So if you have never liked horror and you've never appreciated horror, let's say you've never appreciated horror because it just scared the shit out of you and you just, hated it. You must get with your girlfriends and get some popcorn and watch Cabin in the Woods because it's a horror movie and it is scary, but it's about horror movies. It's a horror movie so it's very meta. So you feel like you're watching the making of, I can't explain it. It's so brilliant. Have you ever seen Shaun of the Dead? Has anybody seen Shaun of the Dead? That's another one. There's those two. Not that listen, if you imagine that you could like a horror movie, those would be the two. Very artistic genius, brilliant. Anyway, there's so much good about our imagination. Have you used yours lately for good? What's the first thing that comes to your mind when I ask you that question? Have you? Okay. So we're going to do our first little doodle, our little thing, our little exercise. And we're going to doodle butterflies. And how we're going to do this is just several different little ideas that you could take. But I wanted to people who don't know what to do with this bunch of butterflies, I'm going to tell you what to do. I'm going to tell you what to do. I'm going to show you what we're doing with the one that I did. Everything that we do, I always do it once before we meet, and then I do it once with you. Or I'm doing a talk while you're doing it. Okay, so this is mine from this week. You see this? And what I did was I took one butterfly from the first row. I picked one from the first row. And you can do rows across or you can do rows upside down. It doesn't matter. You're basically picking 3, one from each row. I did it left to right. And you're going to what these are are your butterfly guides. You're going to imagine that you have little butterfly guides that fly in front of you and guide you through your life. What would be the 3 butterfly guides that you would have? For instance, I put love. I want to be led by love first. Yes. And then I put creativity because that's what I want to do. I want to create stuff. I want to make stuff. And then I'm just going to mute y'all just in case there's a lot background noise. And then I put authenticity. If you know me, then you know that's really important to me. So those are my 3 guides. Like, I want to be led by love, creativity, and authenticity. But for you, the top 3 things might be different. So you're going to make each of your 3 of your butterfly guides. I'm going to leave that up there for a minute while you draw them. And as you draw yours, I'm going to color mine.
How did you have them on your page again?
I put them left to right, diagonally down.
Okay.
You see here, I'll leave it up here for a minute so you can take a look if you want. You can totally make it your own. You don't have to do it anything like this. You can do it completely on your own, or you can completely do exactly what I did. You know, just find space for 3 butterflies, your top 3 energies that you imagine you would like to carry you in your life, you know?
Is this page 111 that you were doing it on?
Yes, and you could draw it on page 111, exactly. And if you are going to draw in your book, don't forget your little page between, because I know I would want to make my butterflies very colorful, you know? They don't have to be perfect. And let your inner child, have a little fun with this one as far as, looking at something and trying to draw it. It's very good for your brain. Very good for your cognitive functions to look at something and try to recreate it. And then you look down at your page and it looks nothing like what's up there. And that doesn't matter. Okay? Yours can be lopsided. Yours can be, it doesn't, oh, this is something I wanted to share with you guys tonight too. As I was reading my book, my book was written stream of consciousness, and I didn't even really edit it. Like, I did a very soft edit of it. Cindy, don't judge. She is a publisher. But yeah, I did a soft edit, and I did it for a reason, because I wanted to make sure that the world was very clear that I did not use any AI on my book. Do you know what I mean? It is just me. It is just my mind, and it's so easy to use AI, to go to AI. I have AI help me with a lot of things, but my book, I wanted it to be me. Because, they even ask you when you upload your book onto KDP, which is the Amazon, when I assume you self-publish, they ask you, did you use AI for this? So people know. And I didn't use no AI. I'm proud of myself for that. Listen, I feel proud of myself. Because it is easy to do that. To just fall into the AI land. And I don't know if you guys can notice when, like, if you hear something or see a post that's done by AI, like, I can spot it a mile away.
Yep.
I mean, I can really, yeah. Anyway, I'll be quiet about that. What are your butterflies guides guiding you to? And the other exercises that are in there, like where I wrote, let's draw the word imagine in big bubble letters and fill it in with glorious colors, shapes, dots, and stars. You can do that in your journal. That's another good prompt, for you with your journal. Does everybody have their butterfly outlines? Because I'm going to do my little talk with the slides.
Yeah.
Anybody need another minute? Okay. Well, then I will go into my little teeny tiny talk. Every week I'll do a teeny tiny talk for you. And this week it is transformation using imagination. I love Asians. I love rhyming Asians. There's so many good ones. So, think again about that thing I asked at the top. If 2019 you were to hear from your 2026 you wouldn't believe yourself. Life is really beyond anything we could ever imagine. Imagination is the most powerful gift I think that we have. And anything, before anything exists in the world, every painting, every song, every invention, every friendship, every healing, every business, every prayer, it's all you imagine it. You imagine it happening. And imagination is not childish. It's creative intelligence. It's rehearsal for your reality. And it's the soul trying things on. So tonight we're drawing butterflies, and it's not, of course, because we're trying to become award-winning artists. It's because we are reminding ourselves that transformation is natural, and that caterpillar dissolves into that gooey before it becomes something new. I am fascinated by the term imaginal cells. I don't know if you guys have heard the term. It is the cells that exist inside of a caterpillar. And they're little tiny clusters, and they're kind of the blueprint for what the caterpillar can become. And at first, during metamorphosis, an old system actually resists them. But then the caterpillar dissolves into like a biological soup, which is what I always call the goo state. And the old form breaks down completely. But yet the imaginal cells survive. And then they organize and they connect and they communicate. And then it becomes this butterfly. I mean, what the? Like, you guys, imagine if you were an alien who came to Earth. And you saw us, oh yeah, that's just that worm that goes into a little gooey little sack and then comes out and flies away. Like, what? What? Demystify, you guys. If you demystify a little bit and you pull out just a little bit, you will be absolutely amazed. Rev Lorraine, we're so happy you're here. We're so happy you're here, Rev Lorraine. Everybody send energy to Rev Lorraine. She just came in. So, I'm doing my little teeny tiny talk, Rev. So I think that the imaginal cells are a good metaphor for us, and that sometimes we are walking around with our imaginal cells inside of us. And then these little ideas, these little nudges, these little longings, dreams we can't quite shake. Do I know about any of those? Ideas that return over and over, ways that want to emerge. And sometimes, just like the imaginal cells, your old self resists because transformation is very disorienting. And we get attached to our story and who we've been and our routines and our identities and our fears and our wounds and our limitations and even our suffering. I know I am addicted to it for sure. I'm still just breaking the habit. So the imagination is the part of us that says, what else is possible? What wants to bloom here? What if your life could open further? And in many ways, this garden of good that we meet every Tuesday is about tending those imaginal cells. And gardening is such a great metaphor because gardens don't bloom instantly. They require attention and nourishment and light and patience and trust. And you do not scream at a seed, grow! And you don't get mad at it if it's not a sunflower overnight. You water it. You tend it. You trust the process. I trust the process. Let's say that together. I trust the process. I trust the process. The things we consistently imagine shape our lives. Neuroscience has indeed found that the brain often activates many of the same neural pathways when vividly imagining an experience as when actually living it. So if you want to go to the mountains and go skiing, just close your eyes and go there. In other words, researchers at Harvard found that mental rehearsal alone can create measurable changes in the brain. You know, there's all kinds of studies. There's a famous study where participants simply imagined practicing piano and showed changes in their motor cortex activity, similar to one who had physically practiced. Olympic athletes use visualization constantly. Basketball players improve free throw percentages through mental rehearsal. Surgeons use visualization techniques before procedures. Studies in psychoneuroimmunology, I can say it, psychoneuroimmunology, have explored how guided imagery can positively affect stress levels, immune function, and healing responses in the body. You know what? I don't know if I've told you guys this. I had this revelation this week. So you're hearing it here for the first time. I know why all of us New Thought people look like we are not aging. Did I say this last week? Did I tell you guys this?
No.
New Thought people look at least 10 years younger than everybody else. You know why? I figured it out. It's very simple. We smile more. It's so simple. Look, when you smile, you're using these muscles. It's a habit. And why are you smiling? You're smiling because you're thinking good thoughts. You're smiling because you're singing, "Let there be peace on earth." You're smiling because you're surrounded by people who are encouraging you and lifting you up and telling you you're fabulous. You're smiling because you pray, because you treat and you move your feet and you walk and you move your body and you do exciting things and you live a full life because you're a New Thought study. You're a student of New Thought if you're here. Your mind. That's why. Sorry, I got really excited about that. So, the brain, the body, the nervous system all respond to the imagination. There's all the studies are there. Listen. And you know this in reverse. Tell me you know this in reverse. We know imagination can create anxiety. We imagine the worst case scenarios. We replay arguments that hadn't even happened yet. We anticipate rejection. We catastrophize our future. Human beings are constantly using their imagination, but the question is, are you using your imagination consciously? And I had to face myself today and recognize that I am not. I'm not. I don't spend time imagining that money comes easy to me, that I am safe in the arms of the divine, that I am, you know what I mean? I don't do this as much as I should. This was a really good week for me. Like, I am checking myself because I can use my imagination. One grows possibility, one grows fear. You can either become a greenhouse or a haunted house. Your mind. The beautiful thing is that imagination is creative by nature. It helps us rehearse new realities. It expands flexibility in your brain. And studies on creativity and imagination show that imaginative engagement, like what we're doing tonight, increases problem-solving capacity, emotional resilience, adaptability, and innovation. In other words, coming to the garden and doodling, you're doing so much with your brain. You are doing so much good for yourself and for the world because it ripples out. So children naturally use their imagination to explore identity, possibility, for emotional processing. Think about kids and their imaginary friends. They know how to use their imagination to fix themselves. But adults forget. It's like we forget. So I have a little bit more here, and I kind of went on and on about imagination in my little talk. It's not supposed to be a huge talk. It's supposed to be tiny, teeny. But I love this, one of my favorite quotes. Imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited, whereas imagination embraces the entire world. That is Einstein, another nice Jewish boy. So tonight we draw butterflies, and we're going to do a little opening of a magic door in our minds process thing. But we're not escaping reality. We're participating in the creation of our reality. We're asking what wants to emerge in ourselves right now. So Is there a new version of you waiting to bloom from this gooey state? A freer version of you, a softer version, a braver version, more playful version, a deeply rested version. That's a version I want to know. I want to know how people rest. I don't, people always say, you do so much. You have all the, how are you making this art and doing this? I'm like, I don't know how to rest. I don't know how. So that's another thing to admit to myself tonight, you know, like I'm having to come to Jesus tonight. So here's a few questions to ponder for us. These are some really good questions. What am I consistently imagining about myself? What do you consistently imagine about yourself? I consistently see, I am trying to really imagine. I haven't given up on Ministar yet. I see myself in a spotlight. There's a spotlight. It's a big stage. The audience is full. It's a big theater. And there's a spotlight. And you hear me sing, I have never been petite, 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 petite. It's the opening line to my show. And I see it. I feel it. But what inner pictures do I rehearse most often? Sometimes it's, I'm not good enough. This is stupid. Why am I doing this? Why am I still at 52? Why not just quit? Do my imaginings create contraction or expansion? That's a big one. That's a really good question. When you're imagining something, is it expanding you or contracting you? What would I create if I trusted possibility more? What tiny imaginal cells are trying to emerge in my life right now? If my future self could send me one image, symbol, or message, what might that be? What would you want to hear? And what kind of garden am I planting with my attention? Because, we know that attention becomes habit, and habit becomes identity, and identity becomes reality. Butterfly reminds us that transformation is natural, and the garden reminds us that growth is participatory, and imagination reminds us that possibility is alive. So as usual, I don't want you to focus on becoming anything tonight. Just be in the goo state if that's where you are. Just notice where you are and get ready when it comes, because you will know when it is bloom time. And you guys, it is bloom time for me. Creative exercise. Okay. So this time you're going to either get your journal out or you're going to turn to page 110 where you have that writing capability there.
Mm-hmm.
And at the top of the page, this is a great exercise for another day. We're not going to do that right now, but imagine everything works out perfectly. What does that look like? That's fun. But what we're going to do today instead is a little tiny itty bitty visualization. So I want you to take a moment and close your eyes. If you would, allow yourself the gift of closing your eyes and taking a breath. And imagine a door appearing before you. And I don't want you to overthink it. I don't want you to, think too much about it, whatever comes up, and notice it. Notice what it looks like. Notice what color it is. Notice if it's old, if it's cosmic. Is it changing as I say it is? Is it wooden? Is it glittery? Is it tiny or is it giant? This door is going to represent possibility, imagination, and the next unfolding chapter of your life. So take a deep breath, imagining this door. And when you feel ready, I want you to slowly open the door and just notice what is on the other side. Not what should be on the other side, but what is there. Maybe it's a place. Maybe it's a version of you. Maybe it's a feeling. Maybe it's rest. Maybe it's creativity. Maybe it's connection. Maybe it's something unexpected. Now, I want you to take a moment, gently open your eyes, get your pen, and answer these questions. Number 1, you don't have to write the question down. Just answer the question. Number 1, what was behind the door? Number 2, what surprised you? I really like this next question. And again, I just want you to think, like whatever comes up, whatever comes out. Don't judge, just blah. What might this vision be inviting you toward? What are you being invited to? And what if you trusted this vision? I'm going to give you like 2 minutes to write. And then I'm going to put you in breakout rooms to discuss this with each other. And you're going to make a new friend. Because that's what we do in a Garden of Good. The next thing we do is we do a little affirmation card every week. If you're here every week, you get to make yourself an affirmation card where you combine your root with the lesson of the week or the exercises of the week. For instance, mine is order. My root is order. So I wrote, I am imagining the order I wish to express and experience. I am imagining the order I wish to express and experience. And yeah, I mean, that's, if I'm going to combine imagination with order, I thought, well, what if I pictured my basement like really clean and organized? Just start to see it. Just start to visualize it. Use my imagination to visualize that when I'm done with something, I put it away. Imagine my space clean and tidy. Cindy, you're coming over tomorrow, right? To see stuff? No, it's good impetus to get it cleaned up a little bit. You're like, Amy, I thought your word was order. Why does it look like a bomb went off down here? No. All right. So very quickly, I'm going to just very quickly share about my roots and fruits. That's it. I've already shared about it. I've already shared that I am trying to get my basement in order. I have been in a gooey state. I already shared that. So this week has been, I think anytime you will notice, if you are a gardener of good that uses regular and watches my cycles and circles, that right before I'm going on a trip, I get into a little bit of a gooey place because it's just the nerves. I think of the travel, getting on the plane. I'm going to Tucson. It's very far. It's a far trip. It's a big trip. And then like getting there and then doing a show and then doing the church and doing, and then schlepping back. And it's a lot. It's exciting, but I think just the nervous system.
I focus. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. I flex my ability.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See?
It's great.
And share with each other. All right. Did I get everybody? I think I did. You guys are the bomb. Diggity. Thank you in advance for any and all love offerings that come to the Garden of Good. I take all the ways. There
Check
is
your
no
mailbox, Amy.
Check my mailbox.
Soon, like tomorrow.
Yay! I love to get mail, and we do have a list of people's mailing addresses, and we mail each other garden grams, little pieces of beauty that, like this one from Anne. I got from Anne.
Beautiful.
And this one here, I got from Lynn. Oh, this is for something else. But isn't that pretty? I got that.
What does it cost?
I mean, we just
you?
love to get things in the mail, right? We just love it.
What does it cost you to send something to Canada?
It's not cheap.
No, it's not cheap for me either.
Yeah,
Cheap in
it's not
Australia.
cheap. But you know what? I want to say we also have our emails. You guys can send
Yeah.
email cards if you wanted to each other.
Yeah.
But they're not
All
too
right.
bad. I got some a while back at the post office.
They're on YouTube. All right, so home play. So these are things like not homework, but home play. Notice when and how you're using your imagination. In other words, if you notice if you're awfulizing something, notice if you're, terrorizing yourself by imagining something that isn't even happening. I did it today or yesterday. Try to imagine good daily. Daily. Maybe that's what we do this week is you wake up and you go, I imagine my day. Today's going to be the best day ever. That's what Barbara Waterhouse used to say, the minister who passed away recently from Asheville. She used to say, today is the best day ever. Imagine that. Gratitude lists, I'm big on my gratitude lists. If I miss a day, it affects me. So do them. And then see how your root applies to imagination this week. So, like I said, I'm going to start to imagine my basement being in order. Yeah. All right. So we're going to close with a meditation that's going to.
All right. Let's take a slow, deep breath together. And another. Allowing the body to soften, allowing the shoulders to relax, allowing yourself to arrive fully here. Tonight we've explored imagination, the butterfly, the garden, the unseen possibilities waiting quietly inside us. And now we simply rest in that space together. Imagine yourself standing in a beautiful garden at twilight. The air is soft. The light is golden. There's a gentle breeze moving through the trees. You notice a path beneath your feet. And as you walk slowly down the path, you become aware that this garden responds to you. The flowers open in your presence. The trees seem to welcome you. The earth itself feels alive beneath your feet. Just breathe. Nearby, you notice a butterfly. Maybe it lands on a flower. Maybe it circles around you. Maybe it rests gently in your hand. Notice its colors, its lightness, its freedom. And remember, the butterfly did not become itself overnight. Something unseen was unfolding all along. In the same way, there may be beautiful things unfolding within you right now, even if you cannot fully see them yet. A new idea, a new openness, a healing, a deeper trust, a creative spark, a softer way of being with yourself. Just let yourself become curious about what is emerging. Simply allowing. Now imagine that somewhere in the garden is a tiny glowing seed. This seed represents possibility within you, joy within you, creativity within you, life wanting to bloom through you. And with each breath, you gently water that seed with your attention. Breathing in light, Breathing out softness, breathing in possibility, breathing out limitation. And perhaps you begin to realize you are not so separate from the garden. You are part of creation itself, growing, changing, blooming, and becoming. Take one more deep breath and silently ask yourself, what wants to bloom in me now? Pause. Trust whatever comes. A word, an image, a feeling, or maybe simply peace. And let's close with gratitude for imagination, for courage, for creativity, for all the imaginal cells of possibility awakening within us. And so it is.
So just take a nice deep breath. Know that we are in the right place, the right time, doing the right things. I know that we are led from within, that spirit that is embedded within us is us. And I know that it wants to blossom. And so it is encouraging us to be our natural selves, to be who we are. And as we come together, we encourage each other to just express life fully, alive. And I know that each of us is grateful to be here, that each of us is grateful to have Amy as our guide, for she does a magnificent job. And so I know that there is great growing happening here, this inner trusting. And I know that we do trust more and more and more. And so we turn to Spirit to guide us. And we follow our imagination, and it will take us in the right directions. And so I release this word and know in gratitude and appreciation that we are all together as one. And so it is.
I love you all so much. Have a fantastic week. Here we go. Play, pray, slay. In the dark, gonna make good today. In the dark, gonna create, elevate, celebrate, and love. I'm Amy from the GOG, Garden of Good Creativity. We get free, be me, work it effortlessly. Do what you love and then allow the prosperity. You got this. Make good, make it your own. You know you got the power in your mind, heart, body, and soul to grow dreams, grow faith, grow you. Create authentically in the Garden of Good. Live, and love. In the garden, gonna dig big and trust. In the garden, gonna create, elevate, celebrate, and love. To the garden.
You do.